difference between New Tantra and the Tantra of the traditional Tantra versus Neo Tantra. Yes, Tantra become very famous nowadays. You hear about Tantra everywhere, in every yoga school, in every meditation school, in every center, holistical center. But very often, this amazing spiritual path, it gets empty of any spiritual value. I don't say that there is nothing valid, nothing good on the path of New Tantra. Oh, no. But we can say that New Tantra is based on a more horizontal plane. A lot of healing, a lot of sexual healing, a lot of healing of your feminine, of your masculine, a lot of healing in terms of relationship, communication, boundary consent, name it, so many, yeah. But it's all about horizontal plane. While originally, in the tradition, Tantra is a spiritual path. So there is this vertical approach where you use sexual energy for divination. You use sexual energy for the sake of spiritual realization. You use your orgasmic energy as a gateway to oneness, to the divine. So, yes, both approach, the vertical and the horizontal, are useful. The horizontal for our lifetime, but the vertical is a work which transcends space and time. It goes way beyond the identification with this life. As Sound Tantra Yoga, we choose to keep the depths of the ancient teaching of Tantra, because this is a path that we have been initiated. We have the grace to receive this teaching. We had the grace together, Amita and Marco, to go very deep in this practice. And after many years, decades, for sure, we pick up some fluid. Yes. But nevertheless, what we teach is there is also an integration of the healing. Yes, because how can I teach you to use your orgasmic energy and offer your orgasmic energy to God if you don't know, as a woman especially, how to unleash your sexual energy fully? So because Tantra treat also the aspect of sexuality, some healing, some shadow, it is necessary, and we include that in our courses with a lot of exercises, with yoni massage, with family constellations. You learn how to unleash your maximum full potential, sexual potential. But this is just a preparation. And here is the difference with the New Tantra. The New Tantra stops there. New Tantra very often become healing. Very good. But in the authentic path of Tantra, this healing is just the preparation. When you heal the earthy plane, when you heal all the trauma, blockages, everything which hold you back to release your maximum full sexual potential, orgasmic potential, finally is the time to sublime the energy to the highest chakra, to offer your sexual energy to the divine, to use your orgasmic energy as a gateway for the spiritual realization. So Tantra doesn't only teach you to have mind-blowing, full-body, multiple orgasm. Tantra teach you to use this experience, orgasmic energy, to induce high state of consciousness, to induce the expansion of your consciousness, to tap into this recognition of your true self. This is Tantra. To use your sexual energy to recognize that you are made of the same essence of God, that you are divine, that you are way beyond the identification with this body, this personality, and so on, that you are infinite and eternal. You are a pure vibration of love. Yes, so it's not enough to work on sexuality to unleash your sexual energy. It's a good point, but this is just the beginning. And this need to be clarified because too often we see, yes, teachers, students, schools, and so on, that they think that this, which is just the preparation, is the final goal. Yeah, but it's not. This is just the beginning. That's the teaching that come all the way to us from thousands of years from this path, which brought to enlightenment an infinite number of human beings. Yeah, infinite not, but quite some human beings, because actually Tantra is a very fast path of evolution. When you start to use your sexual energy, which is the most powerful, is the fuel, the gasoline, is the this wild raw energy, then you really put the turbo, speed up your evolution, spiritual evolution. Yeah, so Tantra can be very fast path. When you learn how to unleash this energy, when you learn how to clean all your channel and to move the energy to the highest chakra, then samadhi, satori, or unione mistica, or this experience of oneness can be experienced in a very fast way compared to other spiritual paths, which requires decades of sitting in meditation. We also sit in meditation. Also in Tantra, you have this discipline. What I say is that when you use sexual energy, everything speed up. Yes, it's a fast, can be fast process because sexual energy is very powerful. But nevertheless, it's because it's exactly in the area of sexual energy that there is the most, I would say, intense blockages, trauma, the biggest shadow, the biggest monster, the most scary monster, where it's even difficult to look into it. So it's better I don't. Yes. So for sure, some healing when we work with sexual energy is necessary. But again, it is the preparation. The real Tantra is when you have the sublimation, the moving of the energy toward the highest chakra for experience the expansion of the consciousness. We say, and then after I will leave the word to Marco, we say that Tantra is made of three fundamental pillars. Without these pillars, one of these pillars, you cannot talk about Tantra. One is consecration. When you offer, you consecrate your well-being, but also your body, your senses, your pleasure, your sexuality, and your orgasm to the divine, to the highest. And this is consecration. And then the second pillar is sublimation. It's not enough to unleash this powerful, strong sexual energy in the lower chakra. You need to move the energy to the highest chakra for having the benefit of using the sexual energy for spiritual elevation. And then the third one is transfiguration. So in Tantra, we practice the inner attitude to go beyond our personality. It's not anymore Amita and Marco making love. It's Shiva and Shakti, the divine masculine, the divine feminine. Yes, so you already understand from these three pillars that is way beyond some sexual healing done in the yoni and the lingam. This is the first step. Yes, we need to start on healing and removing blockages and de-armoring all the tensions. Especially as a woman, I tell you, we carry on our shoulders thousands of years of sexual repression. There are very few the women that are naturally multi-orgasmic. There are very few the women that naturally they're already able to have an implosive vaginal internal orgasm. So again, how can I teach you to use your powerful orgasmic energy if you don't even know how to open yourself to an orgasm? So first, I need to teach you that. But then finally, we can move to the real Tantra, which is offering your sexuality to the divine. And most of the modern schools, they are under the name of Neo Tantra, they just do this, the sexual healing, so down in the lower chakra. The elevation of the energy is missing. So all the journey become, I mean, useful for the daily life, but not complete and not as deep. And most of the students who come to us from Tantra festivals and BBB, blah, 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 name it, I don't want to judge. It's not a, I just see that most of the students who come for our teacher training or our deep immersion, like Tantra immersion online and so on, they are looking for the depths because they are tired to move from one school to another one, to one festival, another one, and always find the same things. A situation, an environment where there is a lot of hypersexuality. So it's all about sex, 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 and healing and screaming and being vulnerable. And where is the elevation? Yes, this catharsis is okay to start. We can start with the catharsis. Osho Rajanish, we are not, our school are not based on teaching of Osho, but I mention Osho because Osho has been the first one in the 60s, in the 70s, who brought the concept of catharsis. Yeah, first we scream, we let go, we release all the tension, and then finally we can sit in silence, in the vipassana, in the pure stillness, in the witness consciousness. But Osho say, in every single book he wrote, he says that if you are already able to sit in the stillness, in the witness consciousness, you don't need to do all this screaming and crying. So again, this is a preparation. Yeah. So yes, so in Aum Tantra Yoga, we try to bring the teaching in the complete way. So not only in the lower chakra, not only the healing, the healing is necessary, but mainly an esoterical approach, a spiritual approach. This being said, let's see what Marco wanna add. As you know, Marco is very knowledgeable in the art of Tantra, especially the ancient text. And as me, he has 20 years of experience, study, and practice in his shoulders. So I'm sure he can share a lot with you.
Namaste, everyone. Thank you, Amita, for your sharing. It was very insightful. And yes, what is the biggest discussion between traditional Tantra and Neo Tantra? So this is very important because we need to understand in this modern world where there's so much Tantra and yoga, that everybody knows that very little it remains of the traditions into what is the modern approach. But also, we don't want to be the orthodox who say, oh, the Neo-Tantra is not Tantra, and so on. We are here to understand what does it mean, the traditional Tantra, what are the roots of the authentic Tantra, how a modern approach to Tantra can still be traditional, can still keep the most of the value of what is the classical Tantra. Because on the other hand, we saw lots of scholars and knowledgeable people that knows a lot about traditional Tantra, but these things remains so much at the intellectual level, and there is not so much depth into the practice. So see, this is one of the biggest problem we have in modern world when we approach classical Tantra versus Neo Tantra. So as Amita said, in Neo Tantra, there is a lot of superficiality for the fact that esoteric teaching and all the depth of spirituality is almost lost. And then on the other hand, in traditional classical Tantra, we have scholars who keep these things so much at the mind level, and for scholars in universities. So how do we find a balance between this? And what actually make Tantra traditional, even if we have a modern approach? So first of all, we need to understand where Tantra originates and what was the original teaching of traditional Tantra. So what makes the teaching of Tantra authentic? It's basically the source of all the information we have that are coming from the past. And I'm talking about thousands of years of history and tradition of Tantra. And so it is as old as the Vedas. So we don't know exactly when the first text originates, but we know that we have the so-called 64 classical tantric texts, where in these texts there are all the informations for us to approach and practice. But these texts are very cryptic, not easy to understand, and they are mostly based on the dialogue between Shiva and Shakti, so the masculine and feminine principle of this universe that are communicating between them. And so Shakti is asking question to Shiva, to the great secret of our existence. So how, therefore, we can solve our existential problem, how we can practically bring, the teaching of Tantra in our daily life. And all these information are in the classical text of Tantra. And these are beautiful teachings because this has no time. If you think that these are older stuff and we need to do modern things in order to be, up to date, that is completely false. We definitely have traditions that have thousands of years, and they are very, very much actual, especially when we see our society, which is going a little bit bizarre, where there is so much confusion, when there is no direction, where we actually need some teaching that it's bringing us to have, stability, direction, controlling of the sexual energy, of emotion, but at the same time also to learn how to flow in life, to learn also how to surrender to something greater. And so that's exact balance between the direction, the control, and the flowing and the devotions. This is exactly what original Tantra is teaching. This balance between devotions and knowledge, between control and let it go. So we see in modern time that the things going too much in one direction or on the other. And so we see imbalances in many of the modern teaching, but in general, we see imbalance in our society and behavior of people. So finding balance, which is the base of all the traditional yoga, it's what Tantra is teaching, finding balance in our being. And to do so, we also have to find the balance, as Amita was saying, between the healing part and the most transcendental part, because only transcendence can lack the work on personality. And we can see even great masters that they have like strange behaviors on their personality. And we saw a lot, perhaps, in the tantric environment, masters that they abuse their power, they had there's all sorts of sexual scandals. So how come that a realized person or someone who is very advanced in spirituality can also have some lack in the personality, or something that are still to be worked there, because there is lack of the personal work. And so the completeness of the tantric teaching is exactly this balance, again, about balance between the transcendental work and the personal work. So we need to actually pay attention to the wall of our being, to the various levels of the mind, to work on the subconscious mind. And this is exactly what the original tantric teaching are. And so all of these works was contained in the tantric text. There was also the work on personality, on how to shed light on our wounds, on our darkest part, and to not reject anything, to not bypass actually the original work of us looking into ourselves and looking also into the most dark part of our subconscious mind. Perhaps there are many traditions that have this completeness of going deep into the shadow work, and we have this in the most of the original and traditional teaching. We can see this in the mystical Christians. We can see this in the mystic of Islam, like the Sufis, and we see this in yoga and in Tantra. So we can't deny one of the two parts. And so perhaps Neo Tantra is incomplete when there is not the spirituality and then transcendental part. And when there is too much transcendent and then there is a lack of personal work, then we can also have side effect on that part. So this being said, where actually the traditional Tantra is originated and where it's going through. So the very important step that many people missed and don't understand exactly of the traditional Tantra is actually that all these informations and practices that we have from the classical text, they need to be somehow supported from an oral teaching. Most of the traditional Tantra coming from India, the Shaiva Tantra, Kashmir Shaivis, Tibetan Tantric Buddhism, and Taoism, which are the three major roots of Tantra, they are a part of this text that has been written of an oral tradition. What does it mean, an oral tradition? It means that there must be some teachers that has to pass you the teaching, but in a better say, it has to be an initiation. So a teacher who initiate a student, and so that's what keep the tradition going on. That's what keep a spiritual teaching prevented from being distorted from whoever just wake up in the morning and create a new wave of tantra, of yoga, or whatever else, shamanism, because we see so much of these distortions in modern New Age approaches. What remains of original martial art or original shamanism? Now everything become commercial. Everything become for just selling and making money and I don't know what. So that is, one of the biggest trap, when there is not a lineage of masters of original teaching, which is not being distorted from like jumping from superficiality and just not having a strong foundations of practice of spirituality and of enlightened masters behind us. And so that is very important. And so the diksha, the initiation, is the second fundamental step in what make the Tantra authentic. And of course, here many people can say, so what about the personal experience? What about the experience in itself? And this is exactly the third or characteristic that makes Tantra authentic. It's your own laboratory, your own experience. So once you had the right knowledge and the right guidance, then it's all about you. It's about practice, practice, practice. Because if you get stuck on books, you will never understand what really Tantra is. And if you stuck into the experience in itself without the right guidance, and without the right knowledge, then the experience is just ending up in the experience itself without a deep transformation. So the deep transformation happens when there is an initiation, when there is an actual work which has a guide, which follows something that has been beneficial from some people before, who somehow is proving that this teaching it's been there for some times. Okay, because of course there could be some very good insights or channeling of some modern teaching, but if you see example like human design, or something which has been invented in modern time, they have deep roots in the past. They have deep root into the traditions, so that channeling perhaps just put few traditions together and make something which is exceptional, which is coming from a downloading of information, but it's actually helping people to really transform. You can see that there are real transformations behind those teachings. So we are absolutely open to see what will be coming in the future, but from people who has a real understanding of what traditions are, real roots into the traditions, and on something that it's really working on the transformations of people, who really can bring people to have a real evolution. So that is genuine spirituality, when there is this verticality, when there is the connections to something greater, because we are limited being. We have our wounds, our blockages. And so how we can pretend, to evolve without having connection to something greater, without having this initiation into the divine ascension. So that is the secret of spirituality, to have, to really experience the connection with the true spirituality. And that means a daily practice. That means to have a practice that can brings you every day into, these real transformations. And so this is what I wanted to share with you. And I hope it's giving you a better understanding of what traditional Tantra is compared to Neo Tantra. And to conclude, the last things is basically the attitude in which we do things, because everything can be tantric, but something can be done in a very superficial way, and something can be done in a very deep way. What does it mean deep? It means to have full awareness. You can go to your ecstatic dance and really enjoy the experience, but if you are not able to focus your mind, to be aware of what's going on while having this pleasurable experience, then the pleasure, the enjoyment, it's just, ending in itself without bringing you to the full awareness of your being. And so the attitude of a genuine spiritual path is when we can really tap into the full awareness of our being, into the full awareness of everything what happened, being this pleasure or even bad emotions, and whatever is happening in the wall of our being. So that full awareness, which has to be cultivated every day, has this witness consciousness, who's observing without judging, without being involved, with full detachment. That is the secret of making your everyday activity tantric, to make, your life tantric. And so that is the secret of traditional tantra, to not get lost in pleasure, to not get lost in the experience itself by just seeking endlessly experience after experience. And so that is very important to understand, and to also make whatever practice you're doing something deep and genuine and very spiritual. All right,
Thank you, Marco.
so that was what we wanted to share with you. I hope this will inspire you. And of course, our invitation is to come to our school to see what actually is the practice of traditional Tantra. We have many approach that are modern. We teach about sexuality, relationship, but always with this traditional approach. We always have the priority of consecrations, of sublimation, transfiguration. We always put the teaching in a very high, vertical, and spiritual way. And so one of the best course we have in our curriculum, which is upcoming now in November, and we invite all of you to join us in this amazing journey, is the Tantra Immersion Online. So it's a 1-month course with twice a week meeting, where we will teach all about tantric sexuality, conscious relationship, and so on. And you will see there, how we can, make teachings that are, of our daily life in an approach which is modern but very deep and very spiritual. So Tantra Immersion Online will start November 3rd. There are still a few places available for the course. You can come alone, you can come in couple, and we are here to share our knowledge and this teaching, and I hope to see all of you there. Yes, Amita?
Yes. Yes, you can expect to receive a very deep transmission during Tantra Immersion Online. And it is tailor-made to be a real initiation. A real initiation into the most spiritual and esoterical path of Tantra. Don't expect something boring. It's not like that. Yes, to be deep and spiritual doesn't mean to be boring. Yes, there will be very juicy practice. You will receive some teaching, listening, but every time you will integrate this teaching in your daily life with juicy meditations where you will use the body. We use a lot the music and moving the body, so don't expect something boring. We have rituals, and yeah, you can expect to have to open yourself to a completely new paradigm in terms of sexuality, as a woman, as a man, as a couple, but also single. Don't worry if you're alone, because first of everything, this path, this journey is a personal journey, something that you do with your own energy. You will master the ability to move your energy by command, yeah, to unleash the powerful energy in the lower chakra, even sexual energy at the fullest, but you will also master the capacity to sublime the energy to the highest chakra, to induce high state of mind. So it will be a journey throughout your chakras and through the elements. Yes, you will experience how the earth, the water, the fire, and the air, and the ether dances within yourself. Which are your strengths and which are your challenge, and what you can do to reinforce the weakest chakra, the weakest element, because all the elements have his own gifts, his own beauty, but each one of us have his own predisposition according to astrology for sure, but also to your daily life and your education, your background, where you live, what you do, and so on. So, for example, you can be very strong in the lower chakra, having very strong sexual energy, but maybe you don't know how to move it to the highest chakra and elevate your energy. Or maybe you can have the tendency very easily to sublime your energy, but you are weak on the lower chakra and sexuality is low. Or maybe you are balanced, but really, as long as you don't know how to use your sexual energy and your orgasmic energy to open yourself to a samadhi, to a satori, you have something to learn. And we have something to share with you, because this is exactly what we teach. Yes. So which are the average students who sign up to our courses, Tantric Immersion Online? There is single or couple who are looking for new tools to really heal the area of sexuality and unleash this powerful energy and creating a better, deeper connection within yourself and the partner, but also there is students who come with a very high spiritual aspiration to learn how to move your energy, to imagine to move your sexual energy and expand your heart to the point that you feel the ocean of love and you merge into this love and you, yes, melt into the ocean of love that the universe are made of, or moving your energy to the crown chakra to perceive yourself as universal and infinite, or moving your energy to the third eye to finally understand the mystery of existence. Yes. So this is the journey that we will take you from the most down to earth aspect to the most esoteric and spiritual aspect. So you will really understand which are your strengths and which are your challenge and what you can do. You will have practical things, what to do. And as a woman, ooh, I have a lot to share about feminine sexuality. I will take you hand by hand in a journey through all your erogenous points and what to do as a woman or as a man who support a woman to really open to a deep vaginal multi-orgasmic experience. You know, like 80% of the women are not able to experience a deep vaginal orgasm, but you can learn. This orgasmicity can be learned, and I want to teach you. I'm really like all my heart want to teach you because I did this journey on myself and I know how powerful it is. So we start from there and men learn how to control the energy. So to move from the explosive orgasm to the implosive. Yeah. So the energy are not discharging outside, but you are charging your energy in and you can make love forever, but not only. You can really increase your energy at the maximum level and open yourself to the mystical experience. So we start from there. We start from tantric sexuality, but again, there is much, much, much more that we have to transmit to you. So you are very welcome. We are about to start actually in November. And again, this program is tailor-made for the people who cannot travel the world and come to us in person because we are in Mexico, we are in Italy, we are here, we are there, but the teaching is identical and expect to receive a very deep transmission. And you're very, very welcome. Tantra Immersion Online. Okay, that was beautiful, Marco. We flow quite good tonight because we are very hot on this topic. We are very passionate, you know, on this topic. For us, it's very important, this clarification, because for both me and Marco, it's really a true mission to keep alive the teaching of authentic Tantra in the world. Yeah, because what we see is that the authentic teaching is disappearing. Yes, people just want superficial things, fast things, and they don't want to go deep. They just want to be entertained. But me and Marco, we are very passionate on this. It's our dharma, is our mission in this life, and here we are.
Okay, so with this we conclude tonight live. Thanks all of you for participating, and reach out if you have questions to contact us on our website www.omtantrayoga.com, and see you soon. Good night,
Ciao.
everyone. Bye bye.